What is going on, guys? My name is 4G here on this channel, Mr. Supply Drops. Today we do have some interesting news when it comes to SM2. Now that is something that I didn't think I'd ever be talking about again, because SM2 is a mod, or was a mod for, actually it was basically its own client based off of the original MW2 IW4 engine. So it was basically, if you weren't aware of this, a complete combination of all of these older games, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, MW2, MW3, Call of Duty 4, all of these old games basically combined into one amazing package, pretty much, with its own leveling system. You could choose your prestige emblem. It had so many amazing things. It was basically turning it into its own Call of Duty game based off of all of these old things, and it was amazing by the looks of it, man. Unfortunately, Activision, they didn't like that very much, and after 2 or 3 years, however long it took after they announced it, I think it was about 2 years, they sent a cease and desist and killed all of our fun, which is unfortunate because, of course, this still required you to purchase MW2. It wasn't like there was any sort of getting the game for free or anything like that based off of that. So regardless, though, it definitely it still sucks that got destroyed. Of course, that got removed, the potential for it, and it was probably also because of the fact that they were going to release MW3 23 very soon, which of course has all these MW2 maps remastered. So I don't know if that was a factor in it. I don't know why exactly. It's not like it's the exact same thing at all. And either way, people who want that OG feel of a Call of Duty game are still going to go back to the original, or rather, they would have still gone to SM2. Also, not everyone is going to play this anyways, because of course it's not available on consoles, so it was just really stupid for them to get rid of it. But regardless, they did it. For whatever reason, they saw it as a threat, or they just didn't want it to exist. Alright, I mean, they are in their legal right, even if it is still not something that I agree with and think that they should have never done that, because it was a big mod at the end of the day. But this time, this is something that's going on. There are two developers, two modders, who are actually trying to revive this project in their own way, and it's not actually going to be its own client, even though I'm pretty sure, I still don't know if SM2 was shut down because it was its own client or what. I was always under the impression that it's just one massive mod for MW2, but maybe I was wrong about that, because this is being claimed as a mod, this brand new project. It's called MW2A, or MW2 Ageless. This is going to be a mod that is pretty much the same thing. It is going to be combining all of these old maps, old weapons. Will we ever see this come to light, like we did with SM2? I don't know, because this is a very big project and it's only being worked on by 2 people right now. But regardless, what we do see right now looks amazing. I mean, look at this right here. High rise with the AN94 in the MW2 engine, and it has the COD Online HUD, which I think is awesome. I know not everyone played COD Online because, of course, it was a China exclusive game, but there were ways you could actually go ahead and play that. I did back in the day, and even though I was playing on like 200, 300 ping, I still had a very great time on that game, and I still to this day wish that they just brought that to the global market, allowed us to play it, and did not shut it down, because it did get shut down at some point. But either way, that was a very fun game. That was also kind of like a combination of all of these older Call of Duty games, so that is where they're getting the assets for all of this stuff. They're taking it from Call of Duty Online and putting it into the original MW2 engine, because, well, the original MW2 engine actually was what COD Online worked with, and they also had a bunch of maps like Raid from Black Ops 2, for example. They had all of these old maps on that engine that they already ported over based off of, their own official AAA developer, all that stuff, right? They did it themselves over at, I believe, Raven Software is the ones who worked on Call of Duty Online, and they basically just ported it from Black Ops 2 into Call of Duty Online, and now these modders are porting it from Call of Duty Online into MW2, and I mean, I think it looks amazing so far. It's going to have 80 levels. So I don't know if there's any prestiges in that, but 80 levels, and then you can unlock all these new weapons. So far, the AN94 is in there. This stuff looks amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to the idea. Even if it never comes to fruition, I'm so glad that there are people out there who are capable of doing this, because I know I'm not capable. I have absolutely no idea how people do this, but who are capable of doing it and are making MW2, these OG games, combined combined into one and keeping them alive because of things like that, even if it doesn't actually ever come out, you know, because like I said, who knows? I mean, it is a mod, but even then, IW4X was a mod and it got taken down. Now, some people might say that's because they offered up the files for MW2 for free on their website, and maybe that's why. So yeah, that's a potential reason, although does that really affect Activision in the long term? I don't know. I don't think so, but I guess it's in their legal right, as I was saying earlier, that's in their legal right to do it. But either way, that definitely that got IW4X shut down officially, but you can still play if you have the files, and I'm sure there's people who still share the files for IW4X if you just Google it and stuff like that. So that's basically what it's going to be put on. So with this mod, if it does ever come out, then it will in fact be available on the dedicated servers of IW4X, which is, you could just create a server and it'll show up in the server browser or whatever, however it works. Now it's still just crazy to me that Call of Duty never sees this stuff, and instead they take it down instead of realizing that they need to make a game like this, okay? I know it wouldn't work exactly the way we're thinking of, because of course if they're gonna ever make a combination of old Call of Duty games, like, I mean, they kind of already are, I guess you could say, with this MW3 23, it's kind of a combination, but obviously not the exact same thing. But they're never gonna go back to these old outdated engines and combine all of them with a new game that they're going to release in the future in 2024 or newer. Like, that's just not going to happen. They're not going to go back and do this officially. If they were ever to do a combination game of all these old Call of Duty games, they'd have to go and use one of their new engines, and that's just not going to be, it's just not going to feel the same, pretty much. I mean, I think I would love that still, because it would be nice. It would be almost like a remaster on top of the fact that we're getting all these old Call of Duty games combined into one, which is just awesome to see. Like, for example, seeing the AN-94 from Black Ops 2, but on high-rise, like that one image, that's just a cool concept right there. It's just nice to see. I love the idea of mixing and matching these Call of Duty games, and they just don't really do that. They add these maps, these old maps, they remaster them, but at the end of the day, it still feels like a new Call of Duty. It doesn't feel like one of these older Call of Duty games, and that's what the whole hype with SM2 was. That's why they went with this outdated engine instead of something like maybe Black Ops 3, for an example, is to have that old Call of Duty feel while combining everything together. Now, that also leads me to the next question, which I'm going to make a full video on very soon. And that is talking about, what if someone got Call of Duty Online working with dedicated servers? I know this is way easier said than actually done, but the idea of Call of Duty Online, if they just never got rid of that, or rather, even if they did get rid of it, someone could reverse engineer the server code, pretty much, translated the game to English for, you know, English speakers, of course, and then now we can play Call of Duty Online on a private server. I mean, people have reverse engineered the code for Fortnite servers. Like, you can play private servers on old Chapter 1 Fortnite from back in 2018. You can play that today, and you can play multiplayer. Everything works just fine as if it was the exact same thing. So if people are capable of doing that, are we not capable of doing Call of Duty Online, but make it available for global? You know, we're going to talk about that in a future video, because I got a lot to say about that. But regardless, I'm very much looking forward to the idea of this mod. I mean, after SM2, I'm very doubtful that something like this will actually release. Now, of course, it is just a mod this time. It's not like a client, but even if it doesn't get taken down by Activision, even if that does not happen, there's always the idea that it just never ends up being fully finished, because it's such a big mod to make for a game like this, combining and porting all of these assets and doing all this stuff. I can't even imagine how much work it takes, but I do have an idea of how much work it takes. It's a lot. That's all I do know. And yeah, but regardless, what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here and you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.